you make mistakes, but you got to learn from those. And every mistake I learn, I try to find the positive.
Yeah.
Every negativity. Hey, I had some, money stolen, but I found the manufacturer today, you know.
Just a little.
Yeah, but that's how I found my current manufacturer, and he makes my reversible purse perfectly. So had it not been for that bad situation, something good would not have come out of it, which is finally finding my manufacturer that can make it perfectly. And we went through 4 different manufacturers before getting there. So out of something bad, something good happened.
Hi, and welcome to Handbag Designer 101, the podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag industry expert and the handbag fairy godmother. Each week, we uncover the stories behind the handbags we love, from the iconic brands and top designers to the creativity, craftsmanship, and culture that define the handbag world. Whether you're a designer, collector, or simply passionate about handbags, this is your front row seat to it all. Welcome, Miss Penny Crook.
Good morning. Thank you.
Ooh, welcome to Handbag Designer 101 Handbags of Dano Handbags, or just so we can be clear, DANEAULT, because as you said, your daddy was French, which
He was 100% French, and I apologize. There's a lot of vowels in my maiden name.
Did he speak French?
He did. Yes.
Did you grow up speaking French?
I did not. My French teacher told him not to teach me because he was teaching me slang and not textbook. So, yeah. So I had 2 years of French in high school, but I don't speak it today. But
isn't that funny, like how things evolve or devolve? That, back in the day, they would tell people like, hide your roots. Don't do that. And all the things you could have put on your LinkedIn profile had you known, like, I'm fluent. Like, no, just kidding.
Exactly. Now I'm fluent in Southern.
Oh my God. But your accent is so darling. It's it's such a delight. So, Penny, let's go back just because we have so many people on and they have such different journeys. And my school semester just finished. When this runs, we're recording this in the end of May. So my teaching semester finished. This may run closer to August. But part of what we talk about in my entrepreneurship class is that sometimes life is not a linear journey, especially in terms of starting a new career, a new business, a new brand. And I think there's some joy in knowing that, for better or for worse, that having this opportunity to begin again and again and again, it just gives us some hope, even with learning curves, that there are good things to come, even if you hate your day job or get stuck in like your day to day, there's still an opportunity to have a life pivot. So what did you do in your previous life, Miss Crook?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I often say that I am not a fashionista. I had no business being in this industry, but it was a calling. It really was. I was a financial advisor for many, many years. So I did, stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
How did that happen? How did you get sucked into that?
So as the story goes, my dad passed away and my parents were married 66 years. And I was helping my mom clean out closets when we found a purse that he had given her. And I kid you not, when I held it in my arms, I had goosebumps and my hair was sticking up. And I knew, I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something with this. I don't know what, but something. So I just asked my mom if I can borrow it. I took it home and I just, talked to the Lord and talked to my daddy, of course, and just like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? And then we woke up with the idea of the reversible purse. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't even know if it's possible. But the affirmation was that strong that I knew I had to try. So here we are today. We have a patent on a reversible purse, like nothing you've seen before. So that's the story. Like, I was in sales. I was a financial advisor.
Where were you living?
About this world at the time in California, and it was during COVID when we first started. So, yeah, trials and tribulations for sure.
So, where are you from originally, though?
Panama City, Florida, Redneck Riviera.
Oh my God. So, and it's so funny as someone who's from the delightful Northeast, when you hear someone having a Southern accent and then they're from Florida, it's confusing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, wait a second. They don't
Yeah.
say that. They don't sound like that in Miami. Why do they sound like that where you are? It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Panama City's in the Panhandle, which we refer to as LA, Lower Alabama.
I can't.
So very country in the Panhandle, yes.
So, how did you end up in California?
My husband is a news videographer, and we moved for his career with Fox in Oakland, California. So we were there for 21 years.
Was that hard to move, or were you like, okay, it is like, let's go?
No, we're adventurous. We were risk takers. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. Heck, I'm a risk taker. So our son was 4 at the time. We're like, if we're gonna move, now's the time to do it before he starts school. And we were ready. We were ready for the change, and we were excited. So we weren't even nervous. So
Wow.
yeah.
So you got there, and did you have to look for, like, were you already in finance? Was that what you were doing? And then you were like, okay, I'll be able to find a job because it's such a responsible, low risk job that people are always looking for people like me.
Yes, I was a financial advisor, so I got a job with Washington Mutual as a financial advisor, which is a bank. And of course, we know what happened to Washington Mutual. The government closed them down. But it was a blessing in disguise because I was able to start something kind of new and go into I was a sales director for companies and, did national sales. And so that built up my sales techniques and, client relationship building and all those good things that come along with being an entrepreneur.
Do you think, though, we just had someone on just recently who had a very corporate job and was very, not blah, blah about it, but it's very responsible, very methodical, very, okay, I'm dealing with a ton of men. So I have to be 10 times more buttoned up, 10 times more
Yes.
prepared,
Yes.
checks and balances, and being very thoughtful in terms of my approach that I have to think before I say anything. Do you think
Absolutely.
that really affected how you go about things?
Absolutely. Because as you can see, my personality is pretty laid back. I'm easygoing. But when you go into those professional meetings with, big VPs and directors of companies, I was a different person. I was more professional at that time. But with the ordinary public individual, I'm myself. My personality shines and I want to be bubbly and perky penny.
That's so cute. Oh my God. So you had kids, and it's crazy to talk about a lifetime and then just say, okay, so you had kids, they grew up, and then but I still reflect on my 20s, and I can remember these things like as clear as day. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's like 250,000 lifetime ago's. But
Yeah.
you had kids, you day jobbed. Again, not easy for a woman and a mom to do it all. And I'm already vibing. You're a do it all kind of gal. Like you were at the PTA meetings, you baked the
Yes.
pies, and you were still day jobbing, and you were still doing carpools. And
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But when you're younger, you can do that. You thrive to do that, and we only had one child. Zachary's his name. He's will be 28 this year.
oh my God.
But I was definitely the helicopter mom, as you mentioned. I was like all over the place, PTA chairman and, doing the carnival and soccer mom, team coach, everything I could get my hands in because I wanted to be a part of his life. But at the same time, like you said, I had my other side, my real job, but I wanted to be as active as possible in his life. So it was a joy. It was a joy for sure, but hard balance.
Yeah, I think nobody, you're in the thick of it until you're not in the thick of it. And then you're like, well, I'm so used to being in the thick of something. So I need to, maybe that was the overlap of the calling that maybe your daddy was saying, like, you are not done being in the thick of something. So throw yourself back in, honey bunny. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
here we go.
I jokingly tell my husband all the time, like, what was I thinking starting a company in my mid 50s? We could have had a very comfy retirement, but instead, I chose to open a company, work my ass off, spend all our money, stay stressed. But hey, yes,
But you know
there's a
what, though?
calling, there's a purpose, and I'm passionate about it because it's carrying on my family name and being able
It
to help.
keeps you young, though.
It does. It keeps my mind sharp because I'm going all day long. And I'm one of those people that if I have 100 things on my to-do list daily, I'm going to get 95 done.
Yeah.
If I have two, I might get one done.
Right.
the more I have, the more active I am. And, it just keeps you going. It's like almost like a natural high when
Yep.
you mark off that thing on your to-do list. Done, 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 done,
Yep.
done.
Yep. So
These drugs.
girl, I get it. I get it. I know. I know. I could tell you the two times fun fact, the two times I tried ecstasy, I was up for 3 days straight. And then the two times I went on the pill, I gained 15 pounds in 11 days, both times. Like, I'm not meant for foreign substances. It's very,
Yeah.
very clear.
Yeah.
It's just not good for me. So I hear you. I wanted, though, you felt this bag, you touched this bag. How did you know, okay, what's next? Like, you could say, and I really want to stop you from framing it as I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't, because look, Penny, no one does. And like all of the best laid plans, they don't work. And that's
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really, we have so many people on that get this idea, think they're a designer, and then they just run with it. And, like the best laid plans, the most organized people, like all that methodical stuff is out the window, because
Yeah.
it's like, I have this feeling and I need to run
Yes.
with it. And
That's
sometimes
exactly what it was.
it
It was a
blinds
feeling.
us,
Yes. Yes.
of the
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm one of those individuals that I've never failed at anything I've tried. I've always been successful. So when I got this idea in my head, as I mentioned, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I had to try. And that's what's kept me going, is the affirmation that this is meant. I need to keep pushing. Like any entrepreneur, you're going to have struggles, ups and downs. We had COVID, I had breast cancer during this, loss of parents, but that's not going to stop an entrepreneur. We're going to keep going no matter what. I mean, because you love your product. I'm passionate about my product. I know I have something super special. Is getting that out to the masses. And I know we're going to be very, very successful. So nothing's going to stop me from going forward, regardless of the ups and downs. That's part of the path. And you learn every time there's a challenge ahead of you. It's like, okay, I did that wrong, but I'm not going to do it wrong again.
Right. Let's hope not.
Yeah.
But I know you and I had spoken about, in terms of the learning curve, and sometimes it can be very, very expensive. And just out of curiosity, do you think, had you not had the money available to you, your hard-earned money, that perhaps you wouldn't have been so quick to invest so much money?
Yeah, I think that's a true statement. Would have taken it a little bit slower, but I'm not going to change the past. And I'm happy where we're at now. We have a wonderful collection. And I think, you make mistakes, but you got to learn from those. And every mistake I learn, I try to find the positive.
Yeah.
Every negativity. Hey, I had some, money stolen, but I found the manufacturer today.
Just a little.
Yeah, but that's how I found my current manufacturer, and he makes my reversible purse perfectly. So had it not been for that bad situation, something good would not have come out of it, which is finally finding my manufacturer that can make it perfectly. And we went through 4 different manufacturers before getting there. So out of something bad, something good happened. So I just try to stay positive.
Can you just share a little that, as you said, you had a very unfortunate situation that unfortunately happens to more people than I can even tell you. Like when you shared your story that you tried to hang your hat on the first manufacturer who unfortunately ends up being almost more like a therapist, that you dump your whole life story to them and they take full advantage of your naivete, of your green, of your feelings, of your emotions, of, oh, I got this. And then before you know it, you've dumped your life story plus to them, something that old Penny would never have done, professional Penny, but because this is new and it was an emotional and you felt it and your daddy and the bag. What do you think, in hindsight, you would tell old Penny what not to do so she is not stuck with a manufacturer who dupes and steals and holds samples and materials captive and has to fight to get them back and like learn? What would you say? Like, okay, what are the takeaways from that awful situation? Because again, we don't want to give too much air to something that was so awful, because again, it happens
Yes.
more designers, more people than I can even tell you. Like when you told me that story, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you are not alone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do you
But
think you can impart in terms of like lessons learned that if you were having been through it, what
yeah.
were the red flags that you ignored?
If you ever wanted to start a handbag line and didn't know where to start, this is for you.
Living proof that independent designers can make it big.
Emily Blumenthal is one prime example.
If you had dreams of becoming a handbag designer and didn't know where to start, this is for you. If you have a handbag brand and are in need of strategy and direction, this is for you. I'm Emily Blumenthal, handbag fairy godmother and handbag designer expert, and this is Handbag Designer 101, the masterclass. Over the next 10 classes, I will break down everything you need to know how to make, market, and manufacture a handbag. Broken down for you that you'll not only skip steps in that handbag building process, but also save money in that learning curve. For the past 20 years, I've been teaching at the top fashion universities in New York City, created the Handbag Awards, and also the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. I'm going to show you like I have countless brands from sketch to sample to shelf, whether you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, or even if you have a handbag line and just need some strategic direction, the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass is just for you. So let's get started and you will be the creator of the next it bag. Join me, Emily Blumenthal, with the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass.
Well, you nailed it. I mean, it was my Southern, I guess, upbringing where I was naive and more trusting, and the passion about the company. I'm like, okay, I got somebody that wants to work with me. And just getting caught up in the excitement and wanting to build the company and moving forward without doing your background searches and this and that. So slowing things down, doing more investigations, doing more research, and not getting caught up with the emotional side. I like to say that I think of myself as an intelligent woman. So the fact that I got conned, was shocking to me. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, the brain and the heart were moving in different stages. My head should have been like ding, 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 ding. But my heart, as you mentioned, was passionate. I was ready to move forward. I was excited. I was ready to do this company. So just slow things down and really do your background research and make sure that you're working with appropriate people. So, again, out of something bad, something good happened because I did open another company to help consulting and helping other entrepreneurs find, manufacturers that are legit. So that's kind of my calling to help others so that, if they don't have the funds, I don't want somebody else to get conned and that's their last funds. So yeah, just slow things down. That's my best advice I would give, and just do your research.
Can I ask you though, as women in particular, sometimes we feel uncomfortable asking questions like, can you share some of your clients or can I get recommendations? Like, and then if you get pushback, we get so excited that we think, okay, well, at least I found someone. At least someone gets me. Oh, thank good. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Or the person they gave me didn't like, I'm sure professional Penny felt the gut feeling and totally ignored it. So,
Absolutely.
what are some of the questions that you think people should ask unapologetically when they start working with a manufacturer?
Yeah. So location, and for me, ethics is important as well. I want to make sure that the manufacturer is not using child slavery, and I want to make sure they're on the up and up on that. If you can, go visit the place. Take a tour of the factory, or somebody, a representative of you, to go visit the factory. Also, it's not wrong to ask for their financials to find out if they're profitable, because you want to know that they're not going to scam you. Ask for samples, of what some of their current products, and like you said, their current customers. Ask if you can contact those individuals. And I did none of that initially. So I have learned through this process as well greatly. And I ask all that, and I'm not afraid to ask now. It just takes one time getting burned and you're like, nope, not it again. I need your information, please.
And another thing, a lot of designers get swept up in thinking, oh, they'll do my samples for free. But in reality, you get charged somewhere. So
Yes.
it's either the shipping, you'll get charged something astronomical. They're like, oh my God, I got a bill for $1,200 where they said it was going to be free. So in terms of expectation and transparency, I talk a lot with designers that needing to be prepared when you speak to a manufacturer. And sometimes when the questions are either too excessive, too extreme, too insecure, sign an NDA, the factory can sniff out that you're green, you don't know what you're doing. And then immediately they're like, okay, I know this person is either going to be crazy, too difficult, or is going to be so complicated with back and forth that I'm going to give them some crazy number just because I know they'll be a pain in the ass and a headache. What are some of the questions that you think would have been helpful had you, now that you know, to be prepared in terms of sketches, sampling, product? Like, would you try to get the sample made domestically first and then ship it over? Like, what are some of those things you can impart?
I did not have my samples made domestically. I had my, tech pack drawings. I sent them to the manufacturer.
Who made your tech pack?
I have an employee that works for me that does my tech pack drawings for me.
But you learned that the hard way, that, oh, I guess I need a tech pack. Right.
But there's consultants out there that you can hire to do them as well. So, but yes, so I send it to the manufacturer. I then get a sampling cost, and I have them use my own FedEx account to ship it to me so that I don't get conned on any type of shipping charges.
Such a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if I'm not in agreement to their sampling price, I don't move forward. So that's it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go, is to make sure. And if they're not willing to work with you, and want to think you're a hassle or whatever the case may be, then so be it. It wasn't meant to be, because you have every right to ask the questions and make sure that you're protecting yourself. If they may be protecting themselves too, maybe I am Crazy Penny. I don't know. Today I'm not. Today I'm Perky Penny, but tomorrow I may be Crazy Penny. Who knows?
Oh my God, the name Penny, just everything works with the penny, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's so helpful. So, okay, so Penny recovered, Penny went through it. At what point were you like, okay, I have a sample, I've been through hell and back. Did you start selling to boutiques at the same time while you were going through this and getting orders against it, and then telling the boutiques, hey, I'm going to have my delivery window is bigger, obviously not disclosing why, because they don't need to know. How did you handle this process of dealing with a bum factory, shopping for a new factory, and still growing the business sales? Because if you have employees, like that is an undertaking unto itself.
Yeah. So we didn't soft launch really until October of 2025. So we kind of waited till we had the patent on the reversible purse, because I didn't want somebody to be out there and too early and, try to copy me. So we soft launched on Amazon and TikTok, while at the same time I was doing markets, a permanent showroom, Jim Scarf in Dallas market, Nashville market, Atlanta market, to get the boutique exposure. But I was doing an omni-channel, multi-channel omni strategy to get the message out there all at once. So that's what we've been struggling with, is getting more boutiques. Amazon, TikTok, and our website obviously are going very well, but getting the message out there to the boutiques. And I do think that my purses, because you see a picture of them, you're like, oh, she's pretty. But until you see the multifunctionality of them, do you not understand the true value of it? I have a new line that I say, she's not only pretty, but she's talented. She does tricks. Watch. And then I reverse it and flip it for them. And they're like, oh my goodness. So for me, it's a little extra layer of challenges when getting to boutiques, because I need to, and I'm in the process right now of doing videos of each purse and showing the multifunctionality of them so that I can use them for my sales process. But I think each entrepreneur needs to figure out what path is right for them for marketing. I know some friends of mine, one that has a denim company, jean company, and he is all in on boutiques, and he's not on Amazon or TikTok. So I think is what's best for your product and how to get the message out there widely in the most efficient, cost-effective way.
How did you have, pardon my French, the balls to go on TikTok? I'm so fascinated. How did you have it in you to be like, okay, Penny's going in?
Yeah, we just started TikTok in January, I believe it was, or February. So right now, the challenge for that is just finding the appropriate social influencers, but it's going well. We're
So you don't
increasing.
do it.
I don't do it personally. No, no. So we do the ads and we, hire the social influencers. So yeah, I know I need to do more. My marketing director keeps telling me, you need to be on, video more because we get a lot of organic hits when I do my own personal videos, but I don't like them. I'm trying to get better at them.
Don't get me started.
I know.
Don't get me
You do
started.
great. You do great.
No, I like to be on the screen this way. I'll share a
Yeah.
box with someone.
Yeah.
I don't like to do the, hey guys.
Yeah.
I have a joke with my daughter just because, everybody, hi, I'm a board certified, like dermatologist, double board certified dermatologist. Like, so yeah, I'm board certified in something. I don't know what, but like, trust me, I got you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely. But I am going to start getting much better at that. So I'm going to start doing more. You're going to see me on my social media more often. And I think that's going to be good for sales as well. So I'll be more on TikTok. I'll be more on Instagram, more on Facebook.
Oh my God. Penny for the
this
win.
face is going to be everywhere.
Oh my God. As it should be. Aw. Love Penny. So I want to wrap up with, you started this because you had a vibe with the bag. You went through hell and back, finding a factory, getting samples made. How did you lock in on the 𝐸𝐸 customer? Because again, it is a challenge for a designer to realize that her customer is not Carrie from Sex and the City, or at least the Gen Z iteration.
Right.
Because there are people like you who, as fabulous as you are not Carrie from Sex and the City or a Gen Z iteration. So
Right.
don't sleep on people from other places who have money and want beautiful things. So how did you come to the conclusion and say, 𝐸𝐸 is not for everyone? It could be, but it really isn't. So how did you come to terms with, she is for this person who lives this kind of life? How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, and when I do design my bags, so I'm not only the CEO and founder, but I am the designer. And I design because my husband and I love to travel. And every time we travel, I'm like, ooh, is there a way I can make this easier for us? Or, do I not have to pack 10 purses, to get for every outfit color? So truly, I know you think that it's not for everyone, but the way my reversible purse is, I have small sizes, I have medium sizes, I have large sizes, and I have different colors and, different shapes so that it does fit everyone, but we're still at a value price. So as the brand increases, it might be more of a higher luxury category priced item. Right now, we're a luxury product at a value price. But for those
Which is,
Yes.
what's your sweet spot?
So the retail for the small one goes from $275 and the large one goes to $395. And that's 2 for 1. So you get 2 purses in one. And we use LWG certified leathers. We use some of the best hardware. It's a really good value. And the other, let's face it, with today's society, the frustration with the consumer is our closets are cluttered. You have purses of every style, every color, and we want to help declutter the closets. The luxury handbags are not cheap, let's face it. So if we can, and they're not always practical either. So if we can design things that are at a value price and a practical that's appealing to all, I feel like we're on the right path. It's just our bags should take the women from day to night to travel. And that's the whole purpose of it is, whether you're a 20-year-old going from school to work and then traveling on the weekends, or you're mid-30s and you're a professional and you're going to an office meeting, then meeting your girlfriends for a glass of wine at night and then traveling that weekend, whatever, they should really move with you. And the multifunctionality and the practicality of it, I think, is going to be huge. And I really try to think of every aspect of the purse when designing as to how can we make this different and how can we make it special. So I think it really speaks to many, many different ages. But yeah, we look at 30 to 72 as our prime sweet spot, but I have purses for everybody.
Oh my God. Penny, how can we find you, follow you, and get our hands on a reversible purse by Penny Deneau handbags?
You can follow us on all our social media at Shop Deneau. We're, as I mentioned, we're at Amazon, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Our website's at, .shopdeneau.com. So anywhere that you can follow us, please do such. We have some great marketing pieces that my marketing director does. I love what we're doing right now with our animal print bags. So would love to have your support, and just thank you. Thank you for your time for this interview and this podcast. It's been great.
Oh my goodness. And that is at DANEAULT. Deneau.
Correct.
Fabulous.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Penny.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.